Welcome to the happy hour, everybody, right here, Sirius XM Fly. I'm HB. What's good? I always say I brag, and it's a humble brag, because I say we always have the best people come through the happy hour. Just for conversation, we already had Faith Evans come through. We had Erica Badu come through. We had Eve come through. We had In Vogue come through. The list goes. Salt and Pepper came through. Kelly Rowland comes through. Everybody comes through just to hang out and just have conversation and have a good time. And it is my honor. I love her. She stopped by the Sway in the Morning show so many times. She's a friend of the show and family. But this is the first time she is here in the happy hour. Woo-hoo, I wish I had a bottle of something. She said she stopped and got a Red Bull. Man. We usually drink heavy Red Bull mixed with something here in the happy hour.
Where's that?
It's in my locker.
It's
in my locker.
You got to share, Heather.
All right,
Come on
I
now.
got you.
Come on
it's
now.
the one and only Tichina Arnold. She is here. Welcome her here, everybody.
I'm here. Yay.
Tichina, I'm going to take you back. First and foremost, let me just say congratulations.
Thank you.
I love Daytime Divas on VH1. I think it is very well done. I had an opportunity to sit down with Star Jones and Vanessa Williams prior to the show coming on, and Star and Vanessa talking about the show. I didn't know what to expect. All I kept thinking in my mind was, this is The View gone wrong. That's all I kept saying, but I ain't want to get nobody in trouble.
Well, that's a good way to put it.
Okay, all right. I ain't want to get
nobody.
As long
as you say it, and we don't say it.
But, all right, Tichina's in it. I'm going to watch it because I wasn't familiar with everybody else besides you and Vanessa Williams. Just being honest.
No, that's
I'm
cool.
not. I wasn't familiar,
That's
so I
cool.
gave it a shot. And when I watched it, I initially was like, yes, she got another one. She is in it. We're going to have an opportunity to see her every week now. But what struck me about it is that you and I had a conversation years ago when you first came on the Sway in the Morning show. And I said to you, Tichina, I read a long time ago that you wanted to have your own talk show. And you was like, oh my gosh, how did you know that? I was like, I read it somewhere. Like, I'm one of those people, I buy magazines and I just read.
Wow.
Newspapers and magazines. I don't know why I read it. And I remember reading that and you told me that was true. And I was like, this is so interesting. Like, look at God. You know,
Everything
like I
is
know
secular.
that it's hard sometimes to get your own show. This is a business. This is a game. A lot of factors come into place in terms of getting your own talk show. But I feel like it's getting closer and closer to your reality.
It's crazy. And I have completely forgot about that because, when you get so caught up into other work, you're in that space. Mm-hmm. And years ago, that did happen to me. Like, I was approached about doing a talk show quite a few times when the talk show era was like really booming back then. Yeah. And it's actually when I was coming right out of Martin. So we tried, and it just never quite fit. But look how God works. Like you said, it's like when I was young, it was prophesied to me as a child that I would minister to millions. And I started crying. I was like, I don't want to be a preacher. And then my aunt and my sister said, Tichina, do you realize you are ministering to millions? That's television. So however way, our words are very powerful. Our what comes out of our mouths is very powerful. What we think is very powerful. So the older I get, now that I'm a mom, I think about these things, and God has fulfilled so many things in my life that I forgot that I wanted.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's powerful.
Isn't that crazy?
Congratulations.
Let me give you some.
Come on, give me some.
Because you got your happy hour. Like, you know what I'm saying? Heather B got like 7 jobs. I love it.
Look, but you know what? But that's what I say too, because there's been something that I wanted to do too. I said, you can help people in different ways. And one of the things my grandmother always said to me, God uses you as you are. Stop trying to be somebody else. He could just use you just as you are. So Tichina got the mic and the talk show. It's coming. We talking that into the universe. I got drinks and conversation. However we can help
that's
people.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we can do.
Drinks always help.
Always
help.
Tichina is here to talk about Daytime Divas. Yo, we're going to talk about it. Since it's the happy hour too, we play music here from the 90s and the 2000s.
Nice.
You know that. If you got a joint you want to request, what you want to hear right now?
Can we talk? I was rocking to some Tevin Campbell. Me and my daughter, we do these chronicles. I came up with this thing because we used to fight every morning. When
your daughter?
Every morning, going to school, just, not fighting physically, but kids wake up, they don't want to go to school. They don't want to get up early in the morning. And then after me working 16 hours a day, I'm like, look, girl, get in this car before I kick you out of this car, before I drag you out of this car. So I said, you know what, Tichina, play music. Let's just start the day right, because she sings. My daughter loves singing. So I said, okay, you know what, play some music. And we do this thing called the school morning playlist. And we turn on music, and I start posting it on my Instagram account, and I start getting all these different mothers and single moms and single dads and grandmothers and aunts saying, oh, can you post more videos? We love y'all watching y'all videos. It actually helps us. So that's what I do. I do on my pastime. It's like I want to be able to use my social media and the platform that I have correctly, but my most important job is me being a mother, being Elijah's mom. So I said, how can I help somebody else what I'm going through, So she stopped with the attitude, She gave up the attitude, and now we created a happy space. So now she goes to school and her grades got better, So it's a trickle down effect.
Can we talk? Tevin Campbell,
Can we talk?
more Tichina up next, y'all, right here
Speaking
on
of talk
Fly.
shows.
Yes. It's
Who
the
got
happy
kids?
hour.
Who got kids? Okay.
No, nobody, just you. It's
Yeah,
okay.
see,
You can say it.
I'm all by myself.
Tichina in here, y'all, just taking a survey of the room. It's the happy hour right here, Sirius XM Fly HB, hanging out with Tichina Arnold. She want to know who got kids.
Man.
Nobody but her in this room with a 13-year-old. She's here to talk about that. Plus, VH1 Daytime Divas. Damn it, Tichina, you got another one. You hit it out the park.
I'm so happy. God is good. You know what? It's not me. And I know I've heard about my so-called reputation of, if I'm on it, the show is going to be a hit. I don't want to get that reputation because that's hard shoes to fill. I enjoy working with people. I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. Even when I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together, there were jobs that I turned down because I didn't believe in it. But if it's work that you believe in and you have a group of people that are willing to work with you. So when I read the script for Daytime Divas, I fell in love. I was like, I have got to do this script. And it was offered to me. Not many roles are offered to me.
Really?
And no. I don't get a lot of offers. I get some. And some offers I get, some are bull, some are good. And the ones that are good, you just want to make the right choice. And I made the right choice with Daytime Divas.
Was the role of Rochelle offered to you for...
I auditioned like everybody else. I auditioned. And what I loved about auditioning for Chris Rock, I auditioned for him. I walked in my first audition, and he was sitting in the audition room. So I was like, "Oh, he's serious. This is serious."
I would have died.
I auditioned. Yeah, he had to fight for me to get that role. The network did not want me.
Okay, wait, no. See, Tichina, we done dug up some other stuff now. I've never heard this story.
Yeah. The network did not want me. Chris Rock talked about it. He said it in a few interviews. He had to fight for me.
Why you're coming off of Martin at this point?
Didn't matter. Don't matter. Actually, I was pigeonholed. I was Pam. When you play a role for so long and people see you a certain way, I was pigeonholed for a very long time. A lot of people didn't know. I didn't work consistently for 10 straight years after I did Martin. I was looking for work wherever I could get it. I did Jamie Foxx. I did a few appearances on shows, but I wasn't on a television show after Martin. 10 years.
How did you
Bev is like, what?
I know you said.
What I call you? I said, Bev, I'm sorry. Heather. Yeah, no. Because it's the B. Heather B.
Beverly, I got you.
Hev. That's what I meant. I meant Hev.
How did you, Tichina, if you don't mind sharing, because a lot of people go in between jobs, so to speak. And just because they see acting as this big, glorious job, they never think about being in between jobs. How did you sustain yourself? I mean, are you that careful with money that you're able to?
No, I burned through a lot of money. I burned through a lot. Not bad in a bad way, but when I was making it, I was in my 20s. And Martin, I would go like the Vegas fights. Like whenever Tyson would fight, was always on my birthday. So every year I would go to Vegas and blow a lot of money. But I wasn't a baller like that. Like I enjoyed my money. I love going to eat. I love traveling. So I traveled. I mean, I spent it not so much wisely all the time, but I didn't have any kids. I was single.
Yeah.
I bought my first house in Atlanta, gave it up. I was like, I don't need it. And now I wish I had it. That was my one regret in life. But I enjoyed my life. There's nothing that I can say that I regret too much. There really isn't. I think we all make our choices. And I'm a person, I live in my choices. I'm a big girl.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a mistake, you just try not to make the same mistakes twice. And now that I'm a mom, you know, I can't afford too many mistakes. You know, I have to be responsible. So life is different now. But back then, literally, I'm creative. So I always like doing something. I started China Moon Rags.
Yep.
China Moon Rags fed me for a minute.
The bandanas
Yeah.
with the, I remember
and
that.
it just so happened that my friend Michael was NSYNC's choreographer. I used to make the bandanas for all my friends, Jada, Vivica, everybody.
MC Light,
Tisha,
everybody.
Light,
Yep,
everybody.
yep.
So you'll never get all those women in one picture ever again. So it's like, God blessed me to be able to utilize my friends. I used to make them free bandanas, and they would love, like, they loved them. They wore them for free and took pictures in them, and it created a buzz. Well, Justin Timberlake, my friend Michael was like, yo, Justin would love these. I was like, Justin who? He was like, Justin Timberlake. I was like, oh, do you know Justin Timberlake? So I made Justin a bunch of bandanas, and I made the stocking caps for him. So if you look at his tour, the NSYNC tour, he wore those bandanas the whole tour.
Wow.
I went to one of the concerts, and I looked out and at all these screaming girls, like thousands of screaming girls, and they all had their own bandanas that they made themselves. I was like, wait a minute, this is a good business here. So that's when I kind of just went all out with China Moon Rags, and it fed me. Until I had my daughter.
I love you, man. Tichina
gotta make it
Arnold
work.
is here hanging out with us in the happy hour. We're going to listen to some Justin Timberlake right now. Let's hear him in the happy hour. More up next on Fly. It's the happy hour right here, Sirius XM Fly. I'm HB, hanging out with a motivational speaker at this point. Tichina Arnold, she is here. We're talking about Daytime Divas. I was telling her how happy I am that she's on the show. I did not know that such long periods of time went by that you weren't working. I just feel like you went from Martin to Everybody Hates Chris, and then I saw you in Happily Divorced, and then feel like I saw you. No, there was another show with LeBron. Something on Stars.
Stars at the Survivor's Remorse.
Survivor's Remorse, and then I see you now on Daytime Divas. So I'm like, yes, she's doing her thing. And then I always think about too. Monique, the comedian, she came by the show, and she was talking about how Martin Lawrence was such a huge mentor and influencer in terms of her and this business, and just like fighting. And I remember you sharing a story one time saying like Martin would fight and fight for certain things. If there's something else that you can share just in terms of the downside of the business sometimes and choosing the right parts and projects you believe in, what was something else that you say you learned from him?
Oh, gosh. Well, I learned from Martin to think quick on my feet. When those cameras start rolling, you don't know what he's going to do. And I think I always attributed part of my being able to do comedy to Martin because, I was from the stage. So, coming out of soap operas and coming from musical theater, Martin taught me a different kind of comedy. So he taught me how to think quick on my feet and do a little more, be a little more animated, and which was more enjoyable for me. But you had to think quick. And he would always go off script. Always. Like, you have some actors, they're like, oh, what's your next line? And I'm not like that because you never know. When those cameras roll, and I tell actors all the time, the only time you are powerful as an actor is when those cameras are rolling. That's the only time you have full control, when those cameras are on you. So use it wisely. Yeah, and I just with working with Martin, he didn't think I could snap. Actually, I'll give you some more information. Pam, the role of Pam was originally for a heavyset girl. All the joke when I auditioned for Martin, because I auditioned for Martin too. When I auditioned for that show, the script was for a heavy girl, so all the jokes were fat jokes. So when I did the audition, I'm sitting here, half my size, because I was skinny back then. Girl,
you still look good.
Oh, girl, I was like, my body was banging back then. Woo! But when I auditioned for it, was all fat jokes, and I just made it work because I was like, okay. And I didn't even really want Martin. I didn't want it. I was up for 2 other shows. I tested for CCPD and Main Street. Main Street was a sketch comedy. CCPD was Dan Aykroyd's show. So I wanted to do those 2 shows. Those shows were in first position. Because those shows didn't get picked up, it pushed Martin up into first position. Because if one of those shows would have gotten picked up, I wouldn't have been on Martin. You would have taken that. So things happen. No, it just wouldn't have happened. Like,
Yeah.
It just,
Did you not want it to because it was for a role of a fat girl? Or?
No, I just was more interested in doing Main Street. I really, because it was a sketch comedy. So it was like Mad TV before Mad TV came out.
Got it. Okay.
So I was like, oh, I could get a chance to do a different type of comedy. And then Martin came along, and it ended up being kind of like a Mad TV because we just, everything felt like a sketch. Everything. Martin comedically is brilliant. Yes, and he's the only one of his kind. Like even working with Mike Epps. Mike Epps, the way he works, you got to just rock with him. And he'll rock with you. That's what I attribute my success. It's not that I make shows famous or whatever. I embrace the roles. I trust the roles. I trust who I work with. And I make them trust me. When you have that combination where you're working with people and you're giving and you're taking, it's a great combination. It's not, even on Daytime Divas, we all work really well together. Vanessa's not me. I'm not Vanessa. Vanessa, no, I ain't trying to take her job. That's her show. I said, V, I'm here to make you better. I want to make you better. I want to make this show better. That's the kind of attitude I have. You got to commit in every area. On Everybody Hates Chris, it was the first time I was a matriarch. First time everybody's looking at me. So I realized, wow, if I come in with an attitude, everybody, it affects everybody. So that's why I told, it was the first time that I was number 1 on the call sheet. First time that it's, this is like, wow. Yeah. I really hit a certain amount of success personally for myself. For an actor to see themselves as the number 1 on the call sheet, it's a good feeling. But even if I'm number 4, I'm number 4 on Survivor's Remorse. I'm number 2 on Daytime Divas. It doesn't matter what number I am. I'm going to always give the same amount of work. I'm going to always give 250%. Doesn't matter. I respect what I do. I love what I do.
We love you too. That's Tichina Arnold. She hanging out with us in the happy hour. Tichina, pick another joint.
Out.
Pick another joint.
Oh. Be humble. Sit down.
Okay.
No.
We can't play that. I'm going to tell you why. No, we can't. I'm going to tell you why. 90s and 2000. No, you're serious.
90s. Oh, okay, see? Oh, wait a minute. Give me some SWV.
Got you. See, now we can play SWV. SWV requested by Tichina. I got y'all right here on Fly.
What? Yes.
Be humble. Sit down. That's the best. It's the happy hour. Yes, it is right here. Sirius XM Fly. I'm HB hanging out with Tichina Arnold. Divas, Daytime Divas. Make sure you watch it on VH1. Please. Support her, tweet her. Speaking of your Twitter, I follow you on Twitter, which is good. We don't do politics here in this show because it's the happy hour and it's always drinking.
Burnt out.
And you get burnt out. It's a lot. But when did you become, just out of curiosity, when did you become socially active and politically active? Like because you've been in Hollywood for so long, and then it's like, you can't talk about this and you can't say that. So I didn't know, until social media came out that you were that active and that informed, which was good. When did that start for you?
When I had a baby.
Really?
When I became a mother, it opened up so many different areas in my brain and in my spirit. And I was like, okay, shit just got real. I gotta literally raise another human being. I have another human being that's counting on me. So I have to learn. I have to arm myself. I have to protect myself. I have to be able to protect her. I have to be able to teach her. I have to be able to nurture her. I can't be stupid all my life. And I never was stupid, but I think a lot of people make a choice not to learn. I always say you learn to the day you die. I got into politics because I'm not a sports kind of person. Oh, okay. I've never been good at sports. I'm just, I'm not good. I don't like sports and insects. I'm just, but
sports and bugs.
Sports and bugs, not my thing. But politics, I just became enthralled with it because of the way it works, and how I see certain people play with the lives of other people. every day just because. So I became more involved in it, and I have a lot of friends that are into politics. And so they teach me a lot. And it came natural to me. I had to learn, there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. I was like, Tichina, stop complaining about what you don't have. Find out why you don't have it and find out how to get it. So, I had to learn who's my local congressman.
Yeah.
Who am I paying my taxes to? Where are my taxes going? So the more I started delving a little deeper into how this whole political arena ticks, it just opened up areas to where, I love it.
Shonda Rhimes, I had read that she had a natural love for science and was going to be a doctor, study the medical, and that caused her to start writing things about medical. Then Grey's Anatomy came about. I see you now with your love for politics. Do you think that at some point you will audition and go out? No.
No. Okay.
Nothing serious?
No, because people ask me if I want to be a politician.
No, not a politician.
They'll be like, girl, get your ass.
Not an audition, but play one in real.
That'd be cool.
One in, like an Olivia Pope type.
I would love that. Actually, I auditioned for a role like that. I did not get it. Maybe I wasn't ready, but you never know. When you audition for stuff, just because you want it doesn't mean that you're going to get it, and it doesn't mean that you can't get it. I auditioned for a role that I really was interested in it because it had no comedy. It had,
That's why I asked you that.
Yeah.
Would it be a complete switch for you? So you would do that? You would?
Oh, most definitely. I actually have done it. I did it. You know my resume pretty well. I really love you for that.
I'm a fan.
I thank you for that.
No, I'm a fan. I support you, but I support you because I feel like you would have been somebody I would have been friends in school with.
But that's what it's supposed to. That's how people are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like I always say, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. I can meet 50 people that day, but it's the first time they're meeting me. So even when I have an attitude or something, I'm like, look, girl, I'm tired. Hurry up and get this picture. But if you're honest with people, whether or not they like it or take to it, they can always say, but she was honest.
Yeah.
I got to be honest because I'm honest with myself. So with being in show business, and I just wanted to get opportunity to do something outside of comedy, not give comedy up, but I had to challenge myself. I'm like, I keep getting these comedic roles.
Yeah.
Can I do something serious? And I was offered, this is another offer, yay, to do the role of Lena Baker, who was the first black woman to be executed in the state of Georgia. And so I did a film with Peter Coyote, Michael Rooker, and Beverly Todd. 3 amazing actors. I mean, A-list actors that are just, thespians for real. And to star in a film with them. And when I tell you this film was a period piece, it was a true story. And it really happened. And just to play this woman's life, I mean, it was a challenge, but I did it.
So
I did it.
So do you get a lot of movie offers?
No. That's another thing. I don't get a lot of movies. Oh my God, I wanted to get Girls Trip. I read that script. I called Will. I was like, yo, I'm coming in to audition for this. Look at me twice, motherfucker. Look at me twice.
And what happened?
I didn't get it.
Did you audition?
I auditioned. I put myself on tape. It kind of sucked. Sometimes when you self-tape, because I self-taped for Survivor's Remorse.
Okay.
And I set the scene. I wanted that role too.
Right.
Oh, I went and got that one.
Okay.
But Girls Trip, I was in the middle of I was doing press, so my brain wasn't. I didn't do what I should have done. I didn't fully commit to it.
I'm not worried about that because I think it'll be a girls' trip too. I do. I was just telling Paula Patton that today. I had the opportunity to speak to her today, and I was like, she would be great in it. You would be great in it. It's the support. We have to continue.
And I love the women that got
absolutely.
God
shout out to
them.
Jada, shout out to love you Latifah, Tiffany Haddish, Regina Hall.
And I love the fact that Tiffany got a shot now.
Yep.
Now you're going to see her. Now you're going to hear about her. That is a good thing. That's why there never should be hate. I only congratulate. I love when I see my sisters getting work.
Yeah.
I love it. That means I'm going to continue to work.
And she had been putting work in. I remember saying to Jada, I remember seeing Tiffany Haddish on Funniest Wins. Marlon Wayans did this little show. It was a comedy competition show. I don't know why I didn't get the press that it needed to get, but I remember
It happens.
seeing Tiffany and remembering the name, a black female comedian named Tiffany. I was like, let me watch her.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? They had different challenges and stuff, and it's so crazy. That's the last time I saw her, and then the next time I see her, she pops up on a big screen.
See that break?
So
That's
you
how
don't
it
know.
happens. That's why this industry, you can't let it break you. You gotta love it. I tell people all the time, show business is like, you gotta treat it like your boyfriend. You know? If you don't love it, will you still love it when it doesn't love you back? Will you still love it when it's not giving you attention? Will you still love it when it's not feeding you? Will you still love it when it's not giving you what you want from it at that time? And I've been in show business all my life. I've done this since age 11. I started singing at the age of 3 in church. So that kind of opened my world to like, wow, okay, I can perform. I just got addicted to just being on stage and being in front of people and having, being able to command an audience. And by the time I was 11, I was driving my mother nuts. And my uncle, God rest his soul, was like, hey, you got to do something with this kid. And I auditioned for the Me Nobody Knows. And that was the first job I ever did. That was the first time I hit the stage as a child. And it was never, no turning back from then.
Last question. As you mention children, would you let your daughter go into the industry?
Oh, please. If you let her tell her she's a bigger star than me. Are you kidding me?
At 13.
Listen, if you ask my daughter right now, people say, oh, well, what do you want to be? She's like a triple threat. I'm like, that's not a job description. But let me tell you something. She is. Oh, my baby. She sings, she dances, and now she said, Mom, I want to get more into acting. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to let her be in show business. You can't stop that. And God really put an anointing on my daughter's life. I'm seeing me outside of myself. It's the craziest thing.
Give her a shout out. What's her social media?
Elijah Kai. And she knows how to handle her social media. And I have people watching her social media. So if you out of pocket on her social media, you will get checked. But she's a good kid. She's a good kid. God bless me with a wonderful human being.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Tichina,
you
rock.
too. And I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your support because it's people like you that talk about people like me that keep me working so I can create people like Elijah.
Nah, man. We got you. We got you here at Sirius XM. We got you here at Sway in the Morning. We got you here in the happy hour. We got you here at Sirius XM Fly. We love you. Man, y'all make sure y'all hold her down now.
Hold me
Support her.
down.
Daytime Divas, VH1. Tichina, pick the last song that we go out rocking with. 90s, Tichina. 90s and 2000s.
Well, okay, Guy.
Oh,
Groove
Guy.
me.
Ow, baby. Tonight, yeah! What happy hour, y'all? Up next, right here on Fly.
God needs to go in concert.